great, wholesome evening. It's a real one. It's been a real one. Yo, check it. Family. The children deserve the absolute best version of us. We can only be of the greatest value to those that need the best out of us if we make the best out of ourselves. That includes, the kind of contents, kind of information that makes up the contents of our mind. If we don't have the right, damn, my mind is all over the place. If we don't have the right content in our mind, we cannot provide the young ones with information that grasps their attention and is able to captivate the time necessary for us to invest the energy and the information that is able to illuminate their consciousness, that is able to influence, inspire, and invite them to right action. Children are hungry for right attention, for right energy, for right time. This is why oftentimes they will even act in an unruly fashion. Once they understand that they can get the adult's attention by misbehaving, they begin to misbehave on purpose for the sake of attention. They don't know any better. You get what I'm saying? Their mind can conceptualize or even comprehend the long-term consequences of temporary, misbehaving, so on and so forth. We don't start taking into consideration the consequences of our action, like really, truly, until after the age of 25. That's why even, insurance company, your rates will go down after 25. That's because your frontal lobe is fully developed, and you can really, think about the consequences before you act. You can think about it more clearly. So children need the right kind of information. If we expect them to act right, we can't treat children like children, then expect them to act like adults when we feel it is necessary. We must treat them as the kind of adults that they are going to become. Obviously, you can't speak to them about just anything. To everything there is a time, to everything there is a place when it comes to teaching children. Today, for example, I had two opportunities, right, to impart some lessons. One of them was with a child that was not as receptive because they did not feel like getting the message in the moment because of how it was initiated, but they still got the message. Why? Because I've worked on being able to deal with children. You're not going to leave my space until you get the message when it comes to children. You get what I'm saying? They don't get to do whatever they want. They get to do what the adults that are taking care of them want them or need them to do. And if you can get this into a child's mind, if you can't get them to understand that you're not going to do whatever you want, and if you think you're going to do whatever you want, then you ain't going to do nothing, and things are not going to go your way most of the time if you continue to move in such fashion. And the other child was a young man that was just trying seeking attention. So I had to, when I was able to grab his attention, call him to me and give him my 2 cents. The first one was my niece, and the first correction was very simple. It wasn't even nothing crazy, but it turned into a little something crazy because the child didn't want to hear the message, and she still wanted to go against reason because, one, she is a child. Two, she is a young female child, and 3, children think they know it all. So it began with like her saying that she was going to lose something, and then affirming that she was going to lose something before she even lost it, meaning she was using her word in an impeccable fashion. When, for the past 7+ years, my whole teachings have been, use your words properly, especially over the last few years. So, I go by one of the 4 agreements, which is the first agreement being be impeccable with your words. So my whole teaching for like 15 minutes with her, as soon as we got to the park, after I picked them up, right? So after I adhere to their request, the child's request, I take them to the park, and now I'm here 15 minutes into what's supposed to be just fun time, me giving a philosophical lesson to my little 9-year-old niece on why she needs to be mindful of the words that she uses, so that she doesn't manifest curses onto her life, so that she doesn't curse herself. So I'm like, yo, what's one of the lessons? Like, be impeccable with what, be what with your word. And I'm just trying, and she's just giving me the side eye and attitudes, and so that turned into a whole nother sequence of events. You get what I'm saying? And eventually, I left her off with three simple things. Don't be there when people. Don't be where people are doing wrong, and don't be there if they get caught. Don't try to be the coolest person in the group or anywhere, and don't believe everything or anybody says. This relates as to the message that I gave to the young man, but I was telling her, like, yo, we can't use our words to curse ourselves. We can't use our words to wish up to bring upon ourselves things that we do not desire. We should not use our words in an unruly and foolish manner. Like, our words become flesh. And if we wish to be lucky, then we must speak words that speak luck into our life, rather than words that speak what we don't want into our life. If you don't wish to lose something, if you don't wish to fail at something, if you don't wish to, have bad things happen to you, then don't speak bad things as always happening to you. Because that is what manifests. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, and those that know it will eat its fruit. That is what the good book says. And many other books that have been written and plagiarized from that big ass book. You get what I'm saying? Words produce vibration, which have an effect on this reality, just as thoughts, just as emotions have their own effect in this reality. We are thought, feeling, and deed. Our words are a deed. Our words are straight life. Let those that are weak, let those that feel weak, let those that are broke say, I am strong, I am abundant, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am rich, I am happy, I am successful. Speak power into your life. I say it to thee, just as I say it as I say it to my little ones. You get what I'm saying? Eventually, once I saw that she was being more receptive and open, I was so actually, I'm like, yo, you're over here speaking all this negative stuff, yet you tell me, you're giving me the side eye as I'm trying to teach you a lesson. Like, do you think that I want the worst for somebody that I love? Do you think that I'm doing this to hurt you? Like, do you think I want to hurt somebody that I love? Do you think that I want somebody that I love speaking bad into their life and cursing themselves? Yet you want me to get you things, which I want to get you, but do you think your behavior merits these things? So ask children to think about whether their attitude merits what they ask of you. And let that speak for themselves. Most of the times they will be honest. And she was honest. She was like, no, my attitude, like, you think your attitude merits a bike? No. Do you think your attitude deserves this and that? It's like, no. I'm like, what do you think your attitude deserves? She's like, to be sat in a dark room to meditate. I'm like, exactly. And that sounds messed up. And I wouldn't do it like that, but some will merit that. You get what I'm saying? So children will give you the answer. So I asked her, I was like, what do you think I should, what kind of wisdom can you give me? You 9-year-old, Selena, what kind of wisdom can you give me for when I deal with another child that maybe has an attitude like yours? What kind of wisdom do you? And that's what she told me about, sit them down in a dark room so they can meditate, so they can think about their actions. I was like, I like that. And then with the other young man, he was moving he was making sexually explicit movements. And so, I'm seeing it. He's at the top of this little thing, just doing all these, all this other shit, like, and I'm like, God dang, come on. I was like, all right. So eventually he came over to me. And I'm like, yo, so-and-so, you know what makes a man, you know what a male is? And he's like, a male is a man. And I was like, no. A male is someone with a dick. A man embodies qualities. Just like a female has of a JJ, a male has a penis. All right? A penis doesn't make a man. It only makes him a male. A man embodies qualities. Qualities of honor, of courage, of respect, of commitment, of discipline, and I kept naming off a few things, and he was just like, from that moment on, he was pretty receptive. I was like, a man honors God, and God is not some invisible person in the sky. God lives. And I asked him the question, and as he was thinking about it, I pointed to his chest. God lives within you. And if he lives within you, that means he lives within who? So you treat others as you want others to treat you, with respect. A man treats others with respect. The same tips that I gave my niece, I gave to him especially. I was like, I'm going to give you 3 things. Don't be there when they get caught. Don't be there or move away from people doing something wrong. Be mindful of the friends that you keep, and be mindful that you don't become the kind of friend that is doing something wrong or that might get somebody else in trouble. And if you are that kind of person, begin to change it now. Don't try to be the coolest person in town, the coolest person in school. Right now you're 9 years old, but you will be 12, you will be 15, you will be 16. Right now you in whatever grade you're in, you will go to middle school. From grade, you will go to high school. You will get out of high school and you will have jobs. You will create businesses. You will be many different versions of the self that you are now. So never try to be the coolest person. Never try to show off, because showing off, trying to be the coolest person, only invites envy, hate, curses, and all undesirable things from other people. If you are yourself, which I have seen who you are, and you are a very, cool individual already as it is, as a 9-year-old, you do a lot of things just by being yourself. You're going to attract a lot of attention. Be yourself so that you avoid getting hurt. Because I myself almost hurt my back showing off. That's why I don't show off, as I was telling him. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever try to attract any extra attention by trying to be extra. Being extra will cause you to hurt yourself. The universe will correct you. God will correct you. You yourself will correct you if you try to be extra. Be yourself. Being yourself alone will attract the love, the admiration, the respect, the appreciation, and all desirable things that you may want from other people, just by being yourself. Teach this to little children, to not try to be cool, to be themselves, to be their best self. And the last one that I left them with, don't believe what anybody says until you investigate. Don't just blindly believe everything anybody says. take things into consideration, and then use discernment, i.e., study. And also, don't believe everything she says. Just because she's beautiful doesn't mean that she's telling the truth. Don't fall for the beauty. Pay attention to the actions. I'm speaking to in general now. I told him the same thing. Don't believe everything she says. Don't believe everything anybody just says. All right? Make no assumptions. And those were the kind of the messages that I gave to the young man. You get what I'm saying? Honor, courage, respect. Honor yourself. Be truthful in all dealings with yourself and with others. Do the right thing, especially when nobody is watching. That's having honor, integrity. Have courage. Show up for yourself. Show up for others when necessary. Speak up when it's necessary. Do the right thing regardless of how hard it may seem. And commitment. I'm not going to go like this, but commitment. You get what I'm saying? Learn to keep promises to yourself. Keep the promises that you make to yourself so that you are better able and better equipped to keep the promises that you make to others. If you ever choose to decide to make promises to other people. I don't make many promises to others. The promises that I make them to myself. So that I don't have to make any promises to others. Because I know that when I say that I'm going to do something, I do it. I do my best to do it. And love yourself. You love God. Treat your body with respect. You show respect to God. And then family. Family. And business. But they're too young to be talking about business. So I left it at that. And so I leave it at that for you this evening. Take those things into consideration, family. You get what I'm saying? Be impeccable with your word. The first of all 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your words. Don't use your words to destroy or to curse yourself or to curse others. You get what I'm saying? Use your words to create positive things, to bless, to encourage. You get what I'm saying? To inform, to inspire, to influence, to motivate, to give people motives for which to live for, to give people hows to their whys. You get what I'm saying? But don't use your words to discourage anybody from doing anything that they're thinking or considering doing. Words are powerful. Don't try to be the coolest person in the group. Don't believe just anything that anybody says or anything any female says because of how she looks. If you're in a group where people are doing wrong, remove yourself from that group so that you can reduce the chances of ever being there if they ever do get caught. You get what I'm saying? Don't show off, show up. Show up for yourself every chance you get. Do your best, nothing less, and if possible, whenever, a little bit more. Have courage. Be a person that is capable of committing to yourself. And be able to do the right thing, especially when nobody's watching. I.e., have honor and personal integrity. As it relates to courage, be capable of making yourself do the right things, no matter how hard they may seem. Other than that, that's all I got for this evening. May y'all have a great one, the 2nd day of November, 2023. You have a great evening, family. It's been your guy, Sosa, Superconscious Living. We out.